What's going on, everybody? And I hope everyone's having a good night. And today I'm bringing you guys another daily range video. Today is, I think it's the 3rd, January 3rd. Is Monday, 2022. 2022. We about to get right to it. This is going to be the first daily daily range breakdown video of the year. First of many to come. And let's just get right into this breakdown. So first thing I always do when I review what happened during the day, I mark up the Asian range that I was previously using. So in this case, it would have been from here to here, because this is the previous Friday's Asian range that I did use this Monday when I was looking to take my trade. So we're going to mark that up. I'm also going to mark up the 50% of this Asian range by doing so with the fib. And then after that, I'm simply going to mark up the 12 a.m. open. Now, if you watch my live streams or watch my videos of when I'm actually actively trading live, you would understand that I'm basically doing everything I would do when looking for a setup, but after the fact, after it all happened. And I'm going to be showing you guys what I personally would have been doing in the moment and showing you what basically happened. So after I mark up the 12 a.m. open, I have my Asian session marked up. I'm going to mark up the previous day's high and the previous day's low. In this case scenario, right here will be the previous day's high. You can see that it got cleared right here, and this is going to be something we want to mark up later, so I'm going to leave an arrow so I can annotate this. But you can see that this previous day's high got cleared right here at 6:45 in the morning, after it also cleared this Asian session high. So that's going to be an area of importance, and I will explain later. So we have the previous day's high, then we have the previous day's low all the way down here. So one thing I noticed is both the previous day's high and the previous day's low both got ran. So what does that tell me? So if I come over here to a different chart real quick and I go to the daily chart, let me go over here on the daily chart, and I look at it like this. You got to zoom in and you got to look at overall the daily range of what happened. You see that the low got ran through. Well, almost got ran. It looks like it got close, but in all of reality, you can clearly see that the previous day's low did get ran through. Not by a lot, but it did get ran through, and price had this push to the top side. And we did have a bearish day last Friday, but now this today closed bullishly, so that's going to be something to anticipate. So after we seen that, we see that both the previous day's high got ran, the previous day's low got ran, and then now we're going to go into the more of an intraday setup. So we're going to be looking at what setup would I've been looking to take at this point in time. So in my opinion, what I would have done is, since I would have been simply waiting for 8:30 to hit, I would have came all the way right here. This is when I would have been looking for trades from 8:30 to about 9 o'clock. This is when I would have been looking to take some trades from 9:30. So right here at 9 o'clock, personally, what I would have been looking to do, in my opinion, if like going through, if this was me in the moment, I would have looked at what happened in price. We clearly see that right here we had this high get ran. We cleared the Asian session high, and we also tapped into this. We're right here, which is 36,500, which we were currently at. So in my opinion, in this case scenario, after making this high of the day during New York session, I would have been anticipating a possible New York reversal. So what would I have done? I would have pulled my fib from this low to this high, and I would have simply waited for a possible retracement to then see price come lower. So let's see what happened. Price came up into this 38.20%. So now we can delete this, delete these little arrows. And then from here, I would be anticipating price to continue going lower. So this would have been personally a trade that I would have been willing to take based off the fact that it's my time of day, so 9:30. And I simply would have targeted previous day's low. Now, in this case, I would have had my stop loss above this high, anticipating that this isn't going to be ran. And why do I think this is not going to be ran? Because in my opinion, I would be thinking that this is the high of the day. And the why? Because this was a high made during the New York session after clearing a previous high. So we anticipated this false break scenario, high of the day. And now we're anticipating price to continue moving bearish, because like I said, the previous day was a bearish day. So in the moment, I would have been looking to sell short. And also, what do we know about when we like to sell short? We like to sell short above the 12 a.m. open, which we're also above. So now we have multiple confirmations. We have this last up candle before this down move, which would have been a 15-minute bearish order block. We also have this 38.20% rejection, and we're also selling above the 12 a.m. open. So simply from here, I would have been anticipating price to come lower, and let's see what happened from here. In this case, this would have been a great trade that would have happened. Now, mind you, this is all hindsight after the fact, but the reason I'm going through this is to show you guys what I would have been doing and showing you guys what I would have been doing at the time. So now I'm also going to annotate down here. I'm going to annotate that this was the low of the day after clearing the previous day's low. Just like that, low of the day after clearing the previous day's low. And I'm going to have that annotated because after we do all of this, guys, I'm going to have to take a screenshot of this and I'm going to put it in my notes. So right here, in this case, this wasn't the high of the day. The high of the day ended up being right here where price is closing at right now. So right where price is at right now is where the high of the day is. So now we know we have this low of the day after clearing the previous day's low. And then from here, we got this reversal scenario. In this case, today's trend would have been basically the setup we would have been looking to take. In this case, after the fact, after seeing this happen, this was a bullish New York reversal. Now, why do I say that? Because New York session made the low of the day at what time? 9:45, cleared this low, and from here we had a reversal in price, which price continued to trade higher. So the ideal trade that I would have more than likely been willing to take is simply down here, somewhere here. I would have been looking for a possible retracement after clearing these lows, but that's something you would have to now go to a higher time frame. Now we want to see where the price tap into on the higher time frame. Now that if I look right here, let me go to even higher time frame. I'm going right here. We see right here we have this 4-hour bullish order block. So I'm going to make it green so you guys can clearly see it. Now we are starting to map out a whole bunch of things that are happening. We see that price tapped into this previous day's low, cleared it, and then we also had this retracement into a 4-hour order block. So simply my ideal trade today would have been looking to at least take a buy off of this area down here, anticipating price to continue pushing to clear these highs up here, because before all this happened, this was the high of the day, and this is also the Asian session high. So this is somewhere where we clearly could have been looking to target. Stop loss, I averagely try to use about 45 to 50 pips. So say a 50 pip stop loss. And in this case, this could have been a potential 1 to 5 trade. And this would have been the ideal trade I would have been looking to take. Why would I be looking to take this trade? Because for one, price came into this area down here. I'm going to mark it up right now. Came into this 4-hour order block. But that's not the important part. It came into this 4-hour order block after clearing the previous day's low and having a false break scenario, making the low of the day during the New York session. So from here, price, this is at what time? At 11:30. Gonna annotate this. We're gonna put at 11:30 a.m. price pushed having a New York reversal. Just like that. We're annotating everything that happened because the reason we're doing this is so that we can look back at it later on and learn from this. So we see, now we're going to write the schematic of what happened. So this is the Asian session range. This is where price ranged. London session, London session we also ranged, but then we came up and cleared the Asian session high. Then from here, price came all the way low, cleared the Asian session lows, just like this. Then from here, this is where price expanded to the top side, just like that. So simply, now that we have the schematic, this is something that you can use to map out future trades in the future, because this is something that happens, and if it happens once, it can happen 2 times, and if it can happen twice, it can happen 4 times. So that's why you always want to mark this down. So now that we understand what happened throughout this day, we can simply go back and look at, okay, now that we have all this information down, we see that price cleared the previous day's high at 7 in the morning, which we're going to put that. Cleared previous day high plus Asian range high at what time? 7:30 a.m. So we cleared it at 7:30 a.m., cleared the previous day's high, and cleared the Asian session high at 7:30 in the morning. So these are all things that we're going to annotate because these are all going to be things that can help us in the future when looking at charts. And then down here, I'm also going to write we're right here, plus trade it into 4-hour order block, just like that. So we have that cleared price, cleared this previous day's low, and also traded into this 4-hour order block. And then had is at 11:30 price push, having a New York reversal to the top side, and just like that, you simply, this is just a daily range. And now we will be able to put this down in our chart, take a screenshot, just like that, copy the link, and we will put this in our chart with all of our other, basically our daily ranges. So now we could take this information, go back in time, and review it. So that's really it. Hopefully this video was helpful and it gave you a little insight to how I personally watch and study US30 every single day. I do this every day, and this is going to be something that I'm probably going to do more often, just to give you guys a better understanding of how I trade, and just how you can just learn more and more, because this is how you learn over time. This is how you're going to learn to see certain concepts happen over and over again, because like I say this very often, the same things happen on a daily and weekly basis, but the only way you're going to experience it and learn it for yourself is by actively having notes and having data and having charts that you can go back and look at. So on that note, hopefully this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.